Welcome in Fox 10 Talks, Tuesday, 3 o'clock. Mark, is this your first time doing a Tuesday one?
I believe this is my first time doing a Tuesday. Yes.
So,
yeah.
Backstory on the Tuesday, 3 o'clock time slot. Typically, we do this with Christina. Tina's usually here for this, and we're happy to have you, Mark. I usually pick a fight right out of the gate on these.
No.
And that is that this is the number one time slot. Because you have to kind of set dominance, right? On like, what's the, like evening anchors, I'm a weekend morning anchor. You're a weekday evening anchor. You got the hierarchy right there, right?
Well, it depends on if you're a morning person or a night person. I don't know.
That's fair. So I'm calling dominance.
Okay.
3 p.m. Fox 10 Talks. This is the number one right here.
All right. You know what? If you put that out into the universe, you can make it happen, Steve. I'm not going to argue with you.
At least my mom's watching. That's my theory on this. So that's good. And I don't think she watches your show, Mark. Just mine. So
you know what? We might have to change her mind. I'm on Mondays at 3.
Don't listen to her,
We're just
Mom.
now starting this thing, though. So you've got some time on me. I haven't, I'm kind of getting the ball rolling here.
Yeah. Oh, what a transition, getting the ball rolling.
I'm working on those segues for you, Steve.
You are. 2 different types of balls we can talk about.
Okay. Well,
golf and basket. Golf and basket.
Okay.
Let's not go there. I have tricked everyone here at the station, Mark. I have a golf show now.
I've heard. How did you do that? How did you?
I
mean,
don't
it's impressive.
know. It was absolutely. I went into our news director's office. I pitched the idea. He was on board immediately, and he just basically told me to run with it. And I got so excited. And basically, the show it's called The Front Nine. You can see it right now.
Yeah.
I get to go golf with people in our community, interesting people, and I just have a nice 13-minute conversation with them while we play golf.
I love that idea.
It's just fun, casual
I'm terrible
talk.
at golfing, so you're not going to catch me out there with you. But,
That's the thing is I'm really bad, too. And to vouch for that, we actually have the guy I golfed with right here sitting at the table with us, Jon Bloom, the voice of the Suns. How you doing, John?
How are you?
I can vouch. I can definitely vouch, but he's a good time.
You're not sugarcoating.
I recommend doing it. I'm a little perplexed about the 13-minute limit still, but I'm going to lay off because he just came in with a gangster move right there and laid it down that this is the best time
I know.
This is the time
he
slot.
He made you kind of defer.
I guess,
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
He acquiesced.
I don't know what that is. I mean, I think it's like alpha dog or something here, but you know what? I'm filling in, so you do whatever you want to do. I'm just here to occupy this seat for 13 minutes at a time.
At least get him to take you out for a free round of golf.
Yeah.
It's at least
Exactly.
Since you're in here.
Exactly.
We could probably play Wigwam again. I'll give him a call. Yeah. That's where we got to play, the Gold Course Wigwam. Awesome course.
Yes.
Tons of fun. Really appreciate you saying yes to this because this was our second episode. So this is still the point where we're talking people into this, saying, no, trust me, this is going to be a good time.
Yeah, it is a good time. And look, I mean, I've played on camera a few times just because of my background in doing golf radio and TV shows. And I might even take a little bit of credit for ratings. My guy over here, that's my nickname for him, by the way. I don't know if you knew that, but I'm like the only person who calls him that.
Yeah.
Steve Ratings Nielsen.
It's good. We got to get that to stick.
You guys got it. Thank you. But yeah, I think my goal with him was, help him out because we started working when he was like an embryo. He was, I think, a teenager.
Wow. I was 19 years old when we first met.
Yeah. So I think at that point I was still like a golf hungry. I was doing golf radio and TV shows. So maybe I rubbed off a
Well, how did you come into his orbit?
I had an internship because I was at ASU, the journalism school there, and I had an internship at KTAR, sports radio over there. And through the end of that internship, I was with Doug and Wolf in the mornings, if you remember them, when they were together there. I hooked up with you on one of the shows. And then all of a sudden, at the end of my internship, they were desperate for producers. And so they offered me a job while I was still in college as a producer. I very much had no idea what that meant. I barely knew what the word. I was like, am I making movies? I don't know what this is. And then so we started doing the pre and post game shows for the Cardinals.
Yep. Who's the pre, and the post show.
Because the way
that's the ones they allowed Steve.
The way the licensing works on this is the Cardinals have the game, and then there's the Cardinals pregame show, And then there's the local sports radio pregame show.
Wow.
And then the same thing happens.
You guys got a
before
lot
that.
of time to fill.
Yeah.
I remember for the Super Bowl in 2008, the show we did, I want to say we were on air for our pregame show at like 6 a.m. that day.
Yep, and that it basically took over almost from finishing the previous week when they made it to the Super Bowl, because we actually went overnight when we did that show.
Wow.
We took calls around the clock. The calls never stopped, so we basically just handed it off to the morning show at 6 in the morning. We went all the way from like 11 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night, to 6 a.m. That was wild. There's a lot of good memories from back in the day.
And then I went to class after.
Then you actually got a degree.
Yeah.
And you got yourself on television, and we're all so proud.
John, I want to talk to you about your background and your rise to where you are now, because, I mean, people obviously know your voice, and you replaced Al McCoy as the voice of the Suns. This was your dream job for what? Since how long? Since you were a kid?
Yeah, I think probably, before high school. I would say middle school is probably when it really started to solidify what I felt like I wanted to do for a living. It maybe wasn't as specific as Voice of the Suns, but I was a Suns fan starting at the age of 13. So if you would have told my 13-year-old self that I'd be sitting here doing this, I would have signed up in a heartbeat. And it took a long time. It was a test of patience, as I'm sure a lot of people out there can understand when you're reaching for something that's so specific too. And then you're behind an absolute Hall of Famer legend who certainly earned his right to go as long as he wanted to. So, it was a learning experience for me, and I think for my whole family, for everybody who knows me too.
Did you ever sit down with Al and just be like, okay, this is the year to retire? And he's like, I got another 10 in me.
Never once.
Yeah,
Steve,
smart
I
move.
think that's part of why we got along so much.
Yeah, you weren't pushing him.
Never once brought it up. I knew that he was the guy,
What was it like your first night behind that microphone for the big game, and you're the guy?
Yeah, certainly the butterflies. I'm sure you can remember getting on TV for the first time. I mean, it's like, or any big opportunity that anybody has out there, you remember what you feel inside. And it's so real when you have those feels. I've taught, I have two daughters. I've taught them that, like, look, when you're feeling that way, that just means you care.
Mm-hmm.
That means you're really in. You're locked into this thing. And that's what I tell myself when I'm in those spots too, is like, it just means this is big time, and just, lock in and get ready to do what you love to do.
I love that. It's such good perspective. Everyone gets nervous. Everyone gets scared. Everyone has those fear moments in their life. It's about how you tackle it when you have those feelings. I like that. It just means you care. That, I feel like that can kind of anchor you down and be like, yeah.
It has
absolutely.
for me. Yeah. And I hope it has for my daughters. I think it has a little bit.
And I was reading some of your bio. You also, at one point, you were teaching live play-by-play at the Cronkite School at ASU. How many kids do you get through that are still kind of like, this is what I want to do? They want to do what you're doing. They want to do what Al McCoy was doing. It looks like there's a big sports broadcast department over there.
Oh, yeah. First of all, the Cronkite School does amazing work. I'm not sure how your partner made it through, but we're all proud that he did. And
Bad apples get through from time to time.
There's a ton of talent coming out of there.
Yeah.
There's a ton of talent teaching there, running the show over there. I'm friends with Brett Curlin, who oversees the sports department there. He's an assistant dean and has been involved with a lot of the development there, and I've watched it through him and heard the stories, and I'm really proud of what they've built.
Yeah.
As a Syracuse graduate, of course, I'm proud of my alma mater.
Sure.
And at the time, I mean, I don't think Cronkite was at the place that it is now. When I was looking to go to school, and had it been, it would have been a no-brainer to come here. And the reason I say that is just because, what we have to offer in the Valley. Syracuse is an amazing education, and the thing that got me going there was the competitiveness. I loved competing with all these other people who want to do the same thing. Like you said, there's a lot of people who want that gig. But here now you have access to the Suns, the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks. You have ASU. Sports is obviously huge, but I think the campus is beautiful downtown. They've just done a really bang-up job.
Well, since I got here in 2002, and it was definitely, starting the Cronkite School was getting there, and it is now, they're turning out students that are ready to
Blake
work.
Neiman.
Blake Neiman, who is our sports department hired him. I think he was still in college.
He was still in college when we started here. I think he just graduated like 2 months ago.
The youngest person on air that we've ever hired.
And he's incredible.
Yeah.
Doing a great job.
I mean, I was like, how did this, but they're working while they're there. I mean, they're doing the thing that they want to do.
Resources, reps, of doing it because we know that's what makes us better at this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to be able to do it. And you might be polished, you might look great if you're a TV person, you might have a lot going for you, but really what's going to get you sharp is doing it.
Yeah,
doing those reps. And then you make connections during those internships for life. Suddenly you go up 20 years later and you're sitting in a chair golfing with Jon Bloom. And by the way, real quick on the Syracuse ASU kind of journalism school beef, my wife went to Syracuse. I, of course, went to ASU. Yeah. We got that beef. Syracuse about 5 years ago stole the guy running Cronkite Newswatch at ASU, Mark Lodato, to have him go run Newhouse. And my wife hasn't let me hear the end of it. So Mark Lodato, if you're listening or ever get a clip of this, time to come back home, buddy. Okay? Drop the orange.
When I started here, Mark Lodato was a reporter over at Channel 5.
That's right. Yeah.
So I'm like, and then I see, Google him occasionally. Like, where is he now? I'm like, wow, okay.
Great
that was
teacher.
Quite a trajectory.
He taught me a lot.
It. Really proud.
Real quick here, we only got a couple more minutes left. We got a preseason game tonight for the Suns.
Yeah, it's game day, and here I am.
I know. Thanks for spending time.
I mean, I should be getting ready for my gig. No, I'm excited that Hoops is back. Tonight we might not see a lot of the main players for the Suns because they just flew back from China.
Yeah,
and it's a crazy schedule. That literally they got back, midnight, not midnight last night, but midnight the night before. Then got to their houses in the middle of the night. Had to catch up on their time, and they're playing tonight. So I don't know how much we'll see of the regulars, but I think what you'll see if you're heading to the arena and you watch this first, or if you've already watched this and maybe you could look back at it on DVR, is effort, tenacity, and energy. It's been palpable from practice to the exhibition games so far, and I think it's just going to be something we're going to get used to with this group. It's really exciting.
Really enjoyed our conversation that we got to have on the golf course. You talked. We kind of.
What do you guys? What topics do you tip?
It's a free form conversation. We did talk a little bit about Al McCoy that you mentioned there, but we talked about sort of some of the phrases you had. Al McCoy, of course, had so many of those famous phrases. The deuce and the damage. I love. You came up with that back in college at Syracuse. Boy, the Orange getting a lot of love in this conversation.
They really are,
so we talked a little bit about that origin story of that, and then Jam Time, all of that. That was a fun conversation about music and everything. So that show, the Front Nine, it's only the second episode. First one was with Molly Miller, the ASU women's basketball coach. We got some fun ones coming up, too. I don't want to give anything away, but some great episodes. I think people should check this one out with you. I think they're going to learn a lot about you and learn a lot about this new look Suns team, too, because it's completely different this year.
Now, if you're out there and you golf and you're golfing and you hate the shot that you just took, do you say take two? Do you start again, or do you just keep going?
He has the power over that. I mean, I was never even invited to the editing room, so I had to wait and see what
he's going to cut in.
I knew I made a putt, though, Mark. I knew I made a putt. I'm like, what? They got to show the putt. They got to show the putt. They waited until the absolute.
We showed the putt. We showed the
shots of him like hitting it like.
I did. We did put in one good sand shot I had there too.
You're in charge.
My drive off the tee box was rough though, and we
included
it. That was a little like hook thing. I don't even know what you call that. Just
I respect that you put that out there.
Jon, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome back in Fox 10 Talks right now. Really appreciate that conversation we just had with Bloomer there, Jon Bloom, voice of the Suns. Front Nine, that episode, you can watch it right now on the YouTube channel for us. That's there. If you got the TV app, you can watch it there. You got the Fox Local app, you can watch it there. You can watch it at W.
We're gonna say www.
I really was. What just happened?
Basically,
I went back
it's
to
everywhere.
1999. Right?
No excuses.
It's HTTPS. fox10phoenix.com. You know the website. Why I'm even saying it? Because you're watching us right now, so you know how to find all these things. But yeah, you got to watch it. It's super fun.
Sounds great.
It's a great conversation.
All right, next topic. Moving on to, we had so much rain yesterday. We've had a lot of rain since toward the end of the monsoon. So we want to check in with SRP and their senior hydrologist, Jake Richardson, is joining us live right now to talk to us about what the watershed looks like right now. Jake, how much water do we have in the SRP system?
Oh, hey guys, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, it's been an exciting couple of days. Lots of water on the watershed. I've been seeing a lot of inflows into our system, primarily on Friday and Saturday. We had a fair amount of inflow on the Verde system, filling up both Horseshoe and Bartlett reservoirs. So that system on the Verde is roughly at about 50% full out of its total capacity, which is up from just a couple of weeks ago. Then yesterday and Sunday, the rain started over into the salt system. And so again, we were getting some significant inflows and even carrying through today. And so that system is sitting at about just under 50% as well. So system wide, we're sitting at just above 50% total storage in the SRP system.
That sounds really positive. Talking about the Verde system there, if I remember correctly, on other stories we've done with you, and I've learned so much about all of this over the years, you guys are so great at just sort of providing this information. The Verde system is different than the Salt River system, because the Verde system basically empties out every year and like starts from scratch almost. Does this, I mean, I think this was like the third wettest October we've ever had, really, at this point. Yeah. Does this change things for the outlook for the Verde system for an entire winter?
Oh, it's a good start. Well, I'll say that. We're going to need to have some more storms throughout the fall, and then obviously through the winter, we're going to be looking for some more precip there. But it's a good start. One of the main things that's going to drive how much rainfall runoff we get during the winter time is how wet the soils are going into the season. And so this is that's why I say it's a good start, because it kind of primes up the watershed. One of the things that we look to, and the way we describe it, is watershed momentum. So the more repeated storms that we get throughout the season, the better the runoff is going to be. And so this is just a good start to that. And so we're still looking forward to see what happens throughout the winter, and that'll be an important part of how we look coming into out of the spring runoff season in May and April next year.
And Jake, you mentioned about 50% capacity for Verde and for salt. Where were we before monsoon season, just for comparison, like, maybe in May or something like that?
Yeah, so the summer, it was about our typical demands, and that draws the Verde system, like you mentioned, it draws it down quite a bit. But during the summer, we really rely heavily on the salt. And so that's where the bigger drops occurred in the SRB system over the summer. I think we went into the summer at about 67 to 70% full on the salt. And so now we're about 50%. So pretty typical for us during the summer as far as demand and the decrease in the system. It was a typical monsoon where we don't get a lot of inflow. That really helps to bolster the volume. So I think what we saw was about what we expected. Obviously, we hoped for a little bit more, but it was about what we expected.
That's so interesting, because I think these things happen where you get a storm that feels so unusual, like a once-a-decade kind of a situation, almost how it's set up.
Felt yesterday.
Days. And I think everyone goes, listen, boy, we got damage. We got roofs being blown off. But at least we don't have to worry about water anymore. We've solved the water problem. The drought's over. Everything's great now. That's not realistic, right? It's just a drop in the bucket at the end of the day.
I wish you were right. It's exciting to get all this rain, and I think in the valley, the total came out to be about, on average, across the valley, about 2.25 inches, which on average over the year we get about 7 here in the valley, and so it's a decent amount for sure, and it's a good start to the water year. The water year restarts on October 1st, so all of our metrics are based off of that. So again, we got a lot of work to do. In terms of the way we manage things, staying on top of conserving every drop and being wise with how we operate the system. But yeah, it's nice to get the rain for sure. And the most beneficial rain is what falls in the mountains when we talk about water supply. Water falling here in the valley is definitely a benefit, but it's an indirect benefit. It addresses the demand side of the equation. And so we still are going to be looking over these next couple of months to see what happens and what falls up in the mountains.
That's so interesting. Yeah, I mean, when it falls in the valley, it's nice. We don't have to water our plants, but it's not the stuff that's being captured in the reservoirs.
Yeah, and that, as Valley residents, I live here too, and it's exciting to see the rain. I was talking to my kids the other day. I was like, I'm sorry that your childhood has, relatively been devoid of rain, just over these past few years. But so that was exciting to see the rain for sure. But in terms of long-term water supply storage, we're really looking at what's happening up in the mountains.
Yeah. All right, Jake Richardson from SRP. Thank you for joining us with that information. We really appreciate that.
Really good perspective.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Just really good to know.
Jake, perfect.
We hear these, these rain totals, like, one of the wettest Octobers we've ever had because of just what we've seen in the last few days.
Right.
And it feels so positive on our water future. And it takes essentially like a bajillion of those storms to actually
It's great to have, but as he was saying, I thought the capacity was going to be more than 50% after what we saw, so I was a little surprised. That's good perspective.
That's because it's fallen in the valley, not necessarily in the mountains.
Let's talk to Kinsey Beach, who's joining us now. We were talking about that storm. Hey, Kinsey, yesterday, wild storm, so much damage. You were out and about today. Were you in Tempe?
Yeah, so I was in Globe yesterday, but I was in Tempe today. We heard from the mayor, tons of officials, and you guys were just kind of talking about this. You mentioned like once in a decade kind of thing. Mayor Corey Woods, he's like, I've been here 22 years. We've never seen anything like this in Tempe, and just the amount of destruction. I mean, 22,000 people without power yesterday. Thankfully, a lot of that has been restored. I'm sure there's maybe an update, but as of 2:30, there's still 200 APS and 200 SRP customers without power. Wow. That's a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, 400 people still.
And look at this video. Blake Neiman was out at Mountain America Stadium when this all happened, and he said they felt like it was a mini hurricane. And you look at this video, and you see why. I mean,
that's a hurricane,
wild,
Talking to people today, people throwing out tornado, hurricane, that it just kept coming down,
that
microburst coming down, intense. Going up. But yeah, the microburst, crazy. I talked to a gentleman that's actually over at the shelter, and a lot of times when we have storms here, we don't get people that go to the shelter. There was a handful of people over there, and this guy had pictures of a tree in his living room.
Wow.
Just fully in his living room.
Terrifying.
Well, and there was some video from Tempe at an apartment complex, the Century Apartments.
That's where that guy lived.
Okay, yeah, I saw a video of a woman, the fire department had a ladder. She was coming off of her balcony with the ladder and her dog and a suitcase. And that's all they're going to have for quite some time because they can't get back in. And that area, the Kyrene and Broadway and Baseline, that area had so much damage.
Yeah, 130 people displaced, and we're not just talking, as you mentioned, like today and tomorrow, but people that will be displaced for
the
a
roofs
long
are
time.
gone.
I am so shocked, though, that this isn't a horrific story where we're talking about deaths and injuries.
Right.
I mean,
it's a really good point.
You see the video, you see how many people are without their apartment. I don't know if it was because it was in the middle of the day, right? It was around 1:15 when this happened. Maybe most people at work, not in their apartment, but I feel like we really dodged a bullet on this one.
Yeah, that's what the assistant fire chief said. He kind of pointed out it being the middle of the day and that kind of making a difference. I mean, you can't tell, but the fact that there aren't any deaths is,
it's shocking.
Crazy.
I want to talk to you real quick about Globe Miami being there yesterday.
Yes.
How did that work? Getting in and out as the road. I mean,
We
can
got
you
out by
drive the
skin of our
60 right
teeth.
now?
No. So we couldn't drive the 60 going up there, and we knew that. So we went around, which was about a 3-hour drive.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, because everyone's taking that way. You know,
Yeah.
everyone that lives there works back and forth.
And that's up near like Lake Roosevelt you're doing, just to give people perspective on how
It's
far around
quicker
you
to
went.
go around the bottom.
Oh, okay, you
actually.
did that.
Yep,
Okay, yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it depends where you're coming from,
Sure.
but from the Phoenix area. But in terms of how quickly the flash flooding happens there, we've been talking about it for weeks. Well, I got to experience it firsthand yesterday.
In your story that you had yesterday, you had some video driving along like a wash or a canal that was just raging with that dark brown water.
Yeah.
Did you take that video with your
Yes.
phone?
Oh.
So I would say it's 10 minutes that it went from, we're talking to these residents on this street and they're like, look, this is what happens. All the rain rushes down. The street basically turns into a river. It's not a river. And one portion of the street was then blocked off. You couldn't pass it anymore. And the City of Globe Police Department made sure people weren't crossing that waterway. And we're talking with this resident. He goes, you guys better go cross the bridge before it's flooded and you can't get out of here. And Mark and I, my photog, kind of looked at each other of like, we better go.
Let's go.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
in this span, I mean, we were the last people to cross the bridge
Wow.
before they shut it down
Really?
completely.
Did-
And that's with like officials yelling at us to
Wow.
Hurry
get
up.
across the bridge.
Did you feel, was there a moment where you felt like your safety was at risk yesterday when it was just like, what happened? We got surrounded by this so fast.
It happened so fast, and I think we even report on that. I mean, I've been
Yeah.
up there the last couple weeks that, hey, residents say in 10 minutes this thing filled up, and
You saw it.
It was a slow moving creek where you can see like the pebbles, and in the span of 10 minutes, filled with rushing, raging waters
Wow.
that are coming up to the roadway.
Well, we
on
saw
both
that. Yeah, I mean,
sides.
I was working with John Hook last
Yeah.
night. And we commented when we saw that video, like, wow, that is insane. How
I don't
quickly.
even think we were able to kind of like comprehend and relay and capture what's happening in that moment. Because
Yeah.
as a reporter, I'm like, oh, I better get video of this. And then after the fact, I rewatched it and you see the water crashing up against the bridge. And the emergency crews that were standing on the other side of that bridge, I mean, had life vests, ropes, the whole thing.
Ready to
Because
go.
you hear about just a car goes over this and you're swept into it.
Well, and that gives
happy
you
you're okay.
such great perspective,
Yeah.
though, on what the people there are going through. You know, like you said, you'd heard the stories. Now you've seen it
It just
firsthand.
happens really
Wow.
fast.
That's why we have reporters,
Yes.
right? I mean, it's be able to offer that firsthand account
Yep.
of this. You hear about this. Here's the proof. Here's how you can see it. You help other people in the future so that when they see this happen, they know
Right.
how to get to safety and how
and
quick it can happen.
crossing
So
those waters is no joke.
Yeah.
Too.
Well,
appreciate
Kenzie, thank you so much
did
for
that.
talking to
Yeah.
us, and let's see your story at 4:00 today
Yeah,
on the
4 and
storm
5.
damage in Tempe. Wow,
guys.
a lot to clean up, that's for sure.
fantastic. We're gonna take a quick break.
Yep.
I'm gonna go on the newsroom tour up next. Everyone hates this. Everyone hates it. I got to talk everyone into talking with me. They're busy. They got things to do. We'll be back in just a minute. We had fun today, Mark.
That was great. A lot of topics.
Yeah, we talked with Jon Bloom, voice of the Suns. Got Bloomer in here. Well, that was a fun conversation with him.
Yeah, that could go half an hour or more.
Easy, easy. When we first did our first cut of the Front Nine, the golf show interview I did with him, we laid it out on the timeline, and it was 45 minutes. It was like, okay, that's too much. We got to start dialing.
I know.
We got to get this down to 13 minutes.
I mean, yeah, the stories he must have and the experience, it was fun.
Yeah, good fun. And then talking SRP a little bit on the watershed, how the water impact. That's one of the first questions we get from viewers on this is always, how does this impact the watershed?
Yeah, and our drought conditions and how we're looking. So
talking with Kenzie about what's going on in Tempe, and then what she went through in Globe Miami yesterday.
Yeah,
unreal.
That was great to hear from her because we saw the finished product of her story, but to hear the mechanics of putting it together and how they were like, the people were like, you guys need to get out of here.
Get out of here right now.
Yeah.
And every decision you make up to that point makes total sense and all of that. And then all of a sudden it just becomes, okay, we got to go right now to our safety.
Yeah.
And now we get to do, Mark, the Newsroom tour, which everyone in the newsroom mostly hates. Is that correct? Is that fair to say?
I think so, but Lil Philosophy here loves
the tours. We do this for you, Lil Philosophy. I take so much heat every week for this, and we do it for you.
Yes. If they're liking it, then keep doing it.
That's right. And we keep doing it because this is the #1 time slot, Mark. This is it. This is the #1 time slot.
Keep saying, you know what? It could be. I don't know.
This is the big chair right here. Tuesdays, 3 p.m. That's what they say.
Mondays, 3 p.m. is also a good show. You might want to check out.
It's a good secondary show. It's a good secondary
It's
one.
the reason why it comes before Tuesday.
Yeah. It's good. I like that.
Starting a rivalry here now, Steve?
Yes, absolutely.
You started this.
And Celeste is waiting on it too in the mornings as well. So this is becoming a thing.
It's like
at
a Hunger
this point.
Games over here.
This is, and I plan to be the Katniss Everdeen.
Oh, okay.
Can't believe I pulled that out. That was a good little reference there. All right, thanks, Mark.
Okay,
Appreciate
enjoy
it.
your tour.
Okay, thank you.
I might be walking behind you, but I'll try to.
Yeah, why don't you can escape out as I do the following here. I'm about to do my favorite part, which is the chair turn. As Mark walks behind me.
All right, I'm gonna walk.
Okay, we're gonna do the chair turn right now.
Bye, everybody.
Chair turn right now.
Bye, everybody.
Hello, Corey. How you doing? We got Corey on the camera today right now, which is fun. This is Corey's first time doing this, and Corey did the thing that Mitch did first, which is my favorite thing, which is he made sure that he's not the one walking backwards. I like that. You're the smart one here. When we do this with BK and we do it with Tillman, they walk backwards, Corey, and I always think, why are they the ones walking backwards? They're the ones with the camera, right? You made the right call. Yes, you got a shot of my shoes. These are actually some of my nicer shoes. If you can notice, though, if we can go back to the shoes, you see those two little bowls, those holes right there? Yeah, those are cat bites. I have a cat named Scallop who is a dog. She's a very bad cat and a very good dog, and she eats my shoes. Why is this happening? Why do I have a cat who eats shoes? This shouldn't happen. We're in the H room right now as we head over to the newsroom. Isabella, I'm going to stop you as we go. Let's keep talking. For all of you that don't know, we have to get time cues. We have to know when we go in and out of things. Isabella, you are always the one who gives us our time cues on the newsroom tour. And we so appreciate it because as we're going to badge in through our security system over here, what have you been working on today?
Thank you. I've been doing a lot. I am the live stream journalist here in the newsroom. So this morning I was helping with the production of Fox 10 Talks, and then I hopped on at 11:30 with Des and Dom, and then after that I had my stream show, Weather and Whatever. Normally,
love that name.
Thank you. Normally, I do that show with Ashley.
We can hang here. This is the desk right here.
Yeah, this is my desk. I normally do the show with Ashley, but she's on vacation, so I did it with Erica today, and it was really fun. We talked a lot about weather, and now I am actually I'm preparing to do another hit in our lovely VNR room over there. It looks like an igloo.
It does.
It does, yes. So prior to stopping and to give you time cues, I have been rewatching the most recent live that was held by President Trump. He's awarding the Medal of Freedom to the late Charlie Kirk. It's his birthday today, and that entire live stream was pretty long. So I've just been rewatching it, pulling really good sound bites from the event, and then I'm going to go in the B&R room and do a quick 13-minute like recap of it.
I think that's all good perspective on just sort of how the news environment works, how we get all of this stuff. There's camera crews that are out there. They send us back the video. We have people like Isabella who then go through all of that video, pull what's the interesting stuff that came out of it, put that together, and then present it to you. So a good little breakdown there. And you've got, I don't know anything about your puppy.
Oh yes, that is my dog Miko, my little keypad of him.
I love it.
Yeah, thank you.
And is Nico a good dog?
He is a good dog. He actually just passed away, but he's a good dog.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Thank you.
I didn't mean to bring Nico up right now.
It's okay. He's okay.
They touch our hearts, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
They do. And talk about something else because I'm gonna cry.
Well, why don't we
We're
keep
good.
moving?
We're good.
Why don't we keep moving, and then we'll check in back in with you in just a minute, okay? Because you're coming along with us because we do this. And as we know, typically Fox 10 Talks Tuesday, 3 p.m., the #1 time slot on Fox 10 Talks.
You're still pushing that?
I'm still pushing it. Starting a fight with Marc Martinez over here with it. You weren't on with us today.
I know. I'm sorry about that.
We missed you so much.
We missed you.
Mark was terrible conversation.
I'm sorry, Mark was great. No, we had a little promo shoot on location in Arcadia, so that's why John and I were out there, and that's what we were doing. And now I am trying to fix my IFB.
I was going to ask, this isn't hairspray?
No, this is an air can, right? Duster.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm not.
When it's humid out, these things, they get covered in
this
air.
is the off-label use. We use this to clear out our yes.
Is this Kirkland Signature brands? What is this?
Staples.
This is Staples. Okay.
Sponsored? No, just kidding.
Electronic
Do you need this
stuff
as well? Are you having problems?
Well, so I've got one too here. See, it's just a little like tube that the audio runs
I'm ready.
through.
Let me give you a little.
Oh yeah, give me a little juice. There you go.
So that's what we do. It doesn't always work. So I'm
Can I
trying
be honest?
my
There's a
best.
smell in that one. The can has
This
a little
looks
smell.
terrible. Don't freeze frame this. Putting this up to my face. Not great. Not great.
Well, because you were out shooting promos and doing all that, you have
Yes.
limited time to prepare for the shows
so that's
today.
what I'm doing
Every
right
second matters.
Yes.
So that's why you said yes to allowing me to come up to your desk. I really
Yes,
appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Okay, are you back next week? Can we see you next week?
Yes, hopefully,
Okay.
barring any kind of crazy thing that happens in my
Sounds good.
life, which feels chaotic lately. So I don't
Life
know.
is fun, isn't it?
Yes, we'll be here.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
and then we get to really reclaim the top spot of
Yes,
Tuesdays,
of
3
course.
p.m.
Today didn't
Tippy
really
Top Dog.
count, so.
No, yeah. Thanks, Mark.
Try to do a favor, and look what happened.
I'm sure it was a much better show. Okay.
Not at all. Or well, I don't know how to do this. I'm trying to make both of you feel good. It's hard to do that. We're having fun. All right, let's keep going here. Where are we going in the newsroom right now? You know what? Let's go to the studio. We had such an interesting conversation talking with SRP about water and the impacts of the rain on the watershed. And then we talked about Kenzie's role yesterday. Hey, here's Jon Bloom again. We're doing a little newsroom tour right now. We just talked to. Why are you still here, Bloomer?
I'm just doing the car. Is it the car wash? Isn't that what they say when you're going around? Yeah, I'm doing the Fox 10 car wash. It's really
He
exciting.
just thought he was leaving, right?
Yeah.
Then we got it. We were going to get him on Fox 10 Sports Night at 10:30 on Sunday night. Talk about the upcoming season, and we had to get the shoes.
See, that's what's cool about a sports guy is they put the shoes on. News
had to
people,
get the shoes.
they don't go to
Yeah.
the shoes.
We
You
don't-
didn't even look at the
we
kids.
don't even think to do that.
Tell them about these shoes.
Oh, these are the first
He
Jon
designed
Bloom creations. I actually created these online. They're Sabrina's, Sabrina Ionescu. But you can go online and you can make them any color you want. There's like 18 different settings. Even the like little grommets that are purple, I got to pick make those purple.
Wow.
It's fun. Yeah, but these are my first ones that I did. I just got them.
I'm really impressed by this. You've got a little eye for shoe design.
I've become a sneakerhead. I just
Have you?
it's a little bit of an addiction.
Is
Yeah.
that what happens when you work alongside NBA players all the time?
Yeah, first it was jealousy because like I could never afford any of the good shoes
Right,
growing up. I
sure.
never had Jordans. I never had any of those
Right.
real expensive shoes.
Right.
So finally, when you make it, you get into the business
Yes.
and you're getting a paycheck. You're like,
Yeah.
wait, maybe I can get some of those
Yeah.
shoes. So now I've gotten a little bit overboard. My wife is a little annoyed at it, but yeah, hey, there's worse things to be addicted to, right?
Exactly. When I was growing up, I wanted Nikes, but all we could afford was Sykes. So now I can actually get some Nikes. So that's pretty good.
Good fun. Thanks to the both of you. Appreciate it. You got things to go do. You got a newscast to get ready for. You got stuff going
hang out
on.
with you guys anytime.
I appreciate that. Bloomer, you got a game.
Yeah, I got to go.
What time's the game?
7 o'clock. We got a 6:30 pregame show.
Fantastic.
98.7 FM.
Appreciate you, Bloomer.
Those are going to be fun to watch this year.
There they are. See, that's the fun of walking in this building. Is like you turn around the corner and you don't even know who you're going to be speaking to or who you're going to see. We just turn in here. Oh, yeah, that's the voice of the Suns just hanging out right there. We got the Weather Center over here. This is you see this on TV all the time, all our sets. This is the big screen right here, the big wall where we can have a lot of fun. And actually, look, we can do this here. If you look real close, it's not one giant projector screen. I don't know how this is going to look on the camera. Corey, what do you think? Is this going to work?
No.
No, okay. But it's a whole bunch of mini little TVs here that all work together. And it's cool because when you go up close, you can really see it. And then you go back, and it's this seamless thing. I've always wanted to watch like a football game in here. I've always thought that would be really nice. Isabella.
Yeah.
What have you made of today? Good day?
It's been a really good day.
Yeah.
Yes. There's so much going on between the weather and just all of the news and the streams. I really liked your guys' afternoon stream. So
the best one.
It's good. And then we have some exciting news coverages coming up, starting very soon at 4 p.m.
How long you been here now?
I started in May.
Okay, so about 6 months?
Yeah.
Is that rough math on that?
I think
that's
so.
about
I think so.
June, July, August, September, October.
Wow,
Did I miss
okay.
any in there?
No.
Okay. Did I miss? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How you liking it so far being
I
here
love
at Fox
it.
10?
I really, really love it. I'm excited to go to work every day, so that's special.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty good. How are we doing on time? You're our timekeeper.
We're doing good. We have a minute and 15 seconds left. So
Look
we
at
still
that.
have a lot of time.
We still have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Because we got a minute 15, I'm gonna come over here and show you the perspective of what it's like as a news anchor here at Fox 10. This is our setup back here. We have this little guy. It's kind of like a food tray back here. This is where we put our coffee, we put our water. You know, on the morning show, you can put your coffee right here. On the evenings, we like to keep the desk a little bit more clear, just have sort of our screen up here with our teleprompter. We got the teleprompter up there that you can see on the cameras, the time on the bottom. That's that whole setup. And then we like to stand in the evenings when we deliver the news, a little more urgency as we do that. You're right there like that. But it's really hard to stand for like 3 hours on end. So then we got these little squat stools here when we want to take a little bit of a break. So I'm feeling a little bit like taking a break right now too, as I've just been walking around for about 15 minutes, which is apparently all I can do because I'm getting older and my knees hurt. I've got water in my knees now. Thanks for joining us. Once I start talking about my knees, that's how you know it's time to go. We're going to see you at 4 o'clock on TV.